to you all? Yes, now? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible to you all? Now? Clear? You all? Yes. Cool. Fine. So, good evening, everyone. So happy to meet you all in the anthropology class. So, what we are going to do today? Yes. So, what we have done till now is like we saw why we should choose anthropology, and then we went to the concept of paper 1 discussion, paper 2 syllabus discussion. So actually we are starting, okay, so officially we are properly starting with the classes. Fine. So what we are going to do today is like I'm going to give you an introduction towards anthropology. Fine. So we know what is anthropology, the meaning, the literal meaning of the word anthropology. Yes. But are we very clear about what we are going to study today is what we are going to see here. Fine. Yes. Okay. So for this, I would like to thank India's largest learning platform, Unacademy, because they are offering us n number of benefits. You know that very well. The entire optional in the YouTube. It's like they are doing awesome. Fine. And you also have daily live classes, live test and quizzes, structured courses, unlimited access. Like you can watch. For example, when I was going to the preparation process and when I was attending the classes, if I miss one class, that's all. Okay, that part of that particular subject remains hanging, but here it is not like that. It's like recorded. You can watch it n number of times, or sometimes you have already attended the classes, but that part you want to even more understand better, so you can go and live at the moment again. So that's very very interesting and very good about an academy. And you can download this app in the Google Play Store and App Store also according to your convenience. So it will be really really good. Okay, yes. See, please increase the volume in your mobile phone. I think my volume is very good about really good. Okay, so please do try to increase the volume in your mobile phone or your laptop or whichever you're watching the class, whichever you're listening the class. Okay, yes, fine. So about me, so I am Suba Keerthana. So I'm an anthropology faculty. You all know me very well. I'm an engineer. So many people ask me the question, ma'am, I'm not from a biology background. So can I do it well? Really, you can do it well. Don't worry. So I have studied biology only from till my 12th standard. So after that, I did engineering for 4 years. So it will be really easy. I have a good experience in teaching, civil services, TNPSC, and also in terms of NEET, and I'm an anthropology faculty too. So it's my Telegram channel's link, and this is my Telegram channel's link, and this is my Unacademy platform's link where you can follow me, because I will tell you why you have to follow my Unacademy platform's link. Before that, you all have the opportunity to interact with 100 plus top educators, and the syllabus is also comprehensively covered so that you need not struggle for any gaps left in the demand for UPSC examination. And this is about Iconic and Plus. I'm telling you guys, if you are new for the preparation, if you think that you can do it on yourself, you can do it, yes, but it will take more time. If you want to clear it in the first attempt, if you want to clear it easily, I think you should have a very proper guidance. For that, especially when you have a personal coach, it will be really, really helpful. Fine. Yes. So in that case, Iconic will be the best for you people like who are preparing very new to this UPSC platform, all these things. And don't worry, you also have this, no cost EMI option here for 12 months and 24 months for both Plus and Iconic. Along with that, I am giving you gift. No, obviously, I will give my learners a gift. My code SUB, the first half of my name, you get a 10% of offer. Awesome, right? Yes. Next. See, I told you already, guys, my class will be on, alternative days. Fine. So last class I was not able to conduct, but that doesn't mean I will miss any class or I will miss any, topic for you. Don't worry about it. Fine. And related to the sources, definitely we are discussing the sources. I mean, at the end of the class, I will give you the list of sources which you can refer to. Clear? Yes. Next. And for Plus and Iconic, both you have this concept of using my code along with that no cost EMI. Fine, think about it, and definitely it will really help you. And this is a special class, guys. I told you already why you should follow my profile, because I have given n number of special classes. They are all free and they are live. Along with that, they are recorded. Fine, you can come to my live classes. If you have missed any of my previous classes, they are recorded. You can just go to my profile and search in the special class session. You have n number of special classes. Fine, especially for prelims point of view, how to approach the questions, everything is discussed over there. Okay, you will like the experience where you get the real time experience of how to get the how to get good marks in the examination. Fine. Next, introducing anthropology. Fine. So what is the highest mark in anthropology optional? Fine. 2018 it was 362. Okay, 2018 it was 362. 394 was also taken in previous years. Okay, so if you prepare properly, strategically, with a proper understanding of the concept, with proper writing practice, the most important, with proper writing practice, you can score 330 plus. Okay, it's comparatively easy other than the subjects. Okay, fine. So coming to this, introducing the anthropology. So what we are going to see today is we are going to learn about what is anthropology, the basics, what are the types of anthropology, all these things we'll be learning. Okay, yes. Next. So in human life, there could be a number of differences in various spheres of life. Fine. Some deep rooted and others merely out of habitual formation. So I'll ask you one question. I don't want to in our classes, we won't be just like reading the PPT and then I'll be explaining you. That won't work out. I'll ask you certain questions. You think to yourself. Fine. Human beings belong to same species. You know that very well. But still, there are many differences, in terms of appearance and then in terms of food culture, in terms of dressings. There are so many differences. Yes, what is that? Sometimes we also see similarities. What is the reason for similarities? What is the reason for difference? Have you ever thought about in life? Okay, I'll give you a very good example. So many was, okay, discussing about notes taking strategy. Yes, 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 yes. I'll tell you something, guys. How to take notes. Definitely, I should tell you. So I will give you certain rules and regulations before starting the class. Fine. So see, classes will be alternative, guys. Okay, optional. I don't want to push the information daily. I want to give you time for processing. I'll tell you how it works. Fine. So when it comes to optional, you need to assimilate. What does assimilation means? You take in information, you need to process the information, and you have to give your own inputs and come up with the ideologies. That is what is optional about. When you compare GS, other subjects, everything, it's about you get a fact, you understand the fact, and you apply it. That's all. But in terms of optional, it's more than that. You get the information, you should think about it, you should refer to it. Why I give you one day of gap in between, I'll tell you. So today we are going to talk about the introduction of anthropology. Tomorrow what you should do is you should go and refer to the references I'll tell you, or you should go and search in the internet. You are going to search more examples. You're going to answer more question to yourself and you're going to come to a conclusion. Fine. I don't want to push in data. It's not about completing the syllabus now itself. Do you understand? So I can complete the syllabus daily, 2 hours of class. I can complete the syllabus in 1.5 months or 2 months maximum. I don't want to do that. That won't be effective at all. Okay, so I want to give you time, so that one day is given, sometimes 2 days is given, so that you take some time and you assimilate the data. Number one. Number two, how to take notes. Don't write everything I say. Don't write everything I say. Number one. Number, when I tell you something, it's very interesting, you immediately note down on your paper. Okay, so that is what you're going to do, and you have to listen to the class well. And after the class is over, when you're noting down some points, right, go to that part again in the video and see how it is. Then go and search. This is about that note taking in the class. I don't want you to write it completely. Okay, I don't want you to write it. Every word I tell you, don't write it. It won't work. So some important points, some example I tell you, the name of a tribe I tell you, the name of a community I tell you, please note it down. That is how it is good. In terms of taking notes by from a material or something, what you have to do is like you take I already told you in one class, how to score 300 plus in optionals. One of my video I have discussed about how to score 200 300 plus in optionals. In that I told you, for every word in the syllabus, every word is not literal meaning. For every concept in the syllabus, you should have a minimum of 200 words of notes. So that how you are going to take, you're listening to my class, so you have a notes, number one. Number two, I'm giving you some references, you have that. Number three, you're going to search the internet and you're going to get some output. You are going to make your notes. A definition, proper definition. What are all the types? What are all the examples? If any comparison needed, if there is pros and cons, you're going to write like that. And this, how will you get? By referring to the old question papers. Fine. So we will be discussing more old question papers in the classes, so that what will happen is that you will understand what they're actually expecting from you. So when you understand that concept, what actually UPSC is expecting from you, the note making will be even more easier. Clear? Yes. Next. Fine, we'll go into the concept. So I already told you it's more about discussion kind of classes, not reading the slide and explaining it. This slide will help you. Okay, that's different. So I will also give you more information, so don't worry. Coming. So many differences we see among human beings, many similarities also we see among human beings. We should accept that. So some people were very curious about knowing, am I from South India? Yes, I am from South India. So what happened? I came to the northern part of our country, and when I saw here, when I went to different places, I saw the fashion varied, the food culture varied, the thinking process varied, many things varied. Fine. Even though we are within the same country, we have so many differences. We had many similarities also. Okay, after all these much thousands of kilometers, we had some similarities also. Marriage, some concept, some ideology about family were same, some ideologies about marriage were same. Maybe the rituals were different, but the concept of marriage was same, the concept of family was same. So what is the reason behind all these similarities? What is the reason behind all these differences? Why should we know about all these similarities? Why should we know about all these differences? So everything, we will be studying in the anthropology. Fine. So there are significant variations in the aspect of human life across nations and culture. So Beals and Huygens in 1971, they have written a book called as Introduction to Anthropology. In that Introduction to Anthropology, they have cited some examples. That is, Eskimos of Arctic lives almost depend exclusively upon meat and fish. Number one. So why do they depend exclusively upon meat and fish? First of all, they live in a very cold country. Okay, it's completely covered by ice. So when it is completely covered by ice, we know very well the vegetation is very sparse. So when vegetation is sparse, obviously agriculture cannot be an option. Yes, do you all agree? Agriculture cannot be an option. And one more thing, since they are living in a cold country, there is a very big need of fat. They need fat because fat serves as a deposit under their skin, which gives them heat, which acts as an insulator, which prevents the body heat to go outside the body. Fine. So to get more fat, it's very important to depend on meat and fish. This is number one concept. Mexican Indians, on the other hand, Mexican Indians depends on cereals and vegetables. So when we see Eskimos are depending upon meat and fish, the northern part, they are depending upon meat and fish. The Mexican Indians depend upon cereals and vegetables. Milk and milk products is luxury among Baiganda of East Africa, but for West Africa it is least regarded because here cattle are very less. Cattle is very less. Here cattle breeding is their main occupation. So when Baiganda of East Africa is thinking, milk product is very much luxury. Okay, so Indians, we eat cheese very rarely because as of now we are using cheese by looking at when as an influence of westernization, but generally we don't use cheese, but we consumed ghee, we consumed curd, we consumed milk. Okay, that was the thing, because we were not in need of complete fat, we needed some fat. Yes, because we are not extremely cold or extremely hot. Fine. Next, Fish is the main food of Amerindian tribes, but the Navajo and Apaches of New Mexico consider it unfit for human consumption. See, within the same continent, Amerindian tribes, Navajo and Apaches of New Mexico and Arizona are considering it fish as fit for human, but fish is main food for Amerindian tribes. Okay, so what is this difference? And apart from this, we also know that many people consume dog, dog meat as delicacy, consume ducks, consume chicken, beef, pork. There are many kinds of food. You know, even in terms of vegetables, there are different kinds of vegetables consumed across world. What is the reason for these differences? Fine. Yes. Next, there are variations even in the combination of food. Okay, Orthodox Jews, they do not combine meat and dairy products. And one more interesting concept, you see Eskimos, they do not combine seafood and meat obtained from land. So seafood is different. Seafood is like fishes they fish from sea. They eat it separately and they don't mix it with the meat because they think that seafood is different, food from land is different. If they hunt from land, they should be consumed different. See, this combination itself is different. Variations are there in the process of eating. Table manners are ethic also. So, in Indians prefer consuming through hand. Western culture they prefer consuming through spoon. Here there is no concept of civilization. It's about comfort. It's about culture. Do you understand? It's about comfort, it's about culture, you know, how you think you should eat. It's different. Fine? Because we consume food like dal, rice, chapati. Chapati cannot be consumed through spoon. Can it be consumed through spoon? No. But pasta can be consumed through spoon only. Spaghetti is better tasted using spoon. So this is the difference. Here there is no question of civilization. Here there is no question of advancement of culture. No. In anthropology, we don't study it in that terms. Many people, you know, even us, we think that, you know, consuming a food through spoon considered, you know, very civilized. No, it's not like that. It's based on the comfort, it's based on the culture, it's based on so many factors. Fine. Next. Similarly, variations could be observed in dress and ornaments. Obviously, see, some Australian and Andaman tribes, Sentinelese, we know very well. You know, they are naked, they don't wear any dress. But, you know, Bayanda of East India are fully clothed from neck to ankle. Just leave, you know, from Andaman, don't go to East Asia, just come into our country. So, we have Andaman and Nicobar Islands here, and we have South India here. So, Andaman, Nicobar Islands, South India. Here, people wear dress, but they don't. Okay, even in terms of dressing and ornaments, even in terms of fashion of dress, you know, there is a lots and lots of difference in South India and North India, South India, Northeast India, Middle India. There are different kinds of fashion also. This is what is running the industry. Yes. Fine. Next, it is evident that diversity exists among humans in form of physical appearance, cultural practices, languages and lifestyles. Yes or no? Okay, so I always tell you what is money for the West is what is kinship for the East. Fine. So when the Western culture is considering money to be more important, the Eastern part of the world is considering kinship to be the most important thing. The value kinship more. Are they both right? Who's right here? Who's wrong? No, that is not the question at all. It is the difference in culture. It is the difference in lifestyle. What we get scarce, we value more. Do you understand? Yes. So physical appearance also we have difference in terms of skin color, in terms of height difference, in terms of build, in terms of eye color, nose, hair color, there are so much differences. Yes. In our country, when we get, you know, gray hair, we consider it to be like one of the health issues. Yes or no? What, I'm getting gray hair, we feel very bad, I'm getting old. But in many country, gray hair is one of the important fashion. Okay, they bleach their hair to get gray hairs. They bleach their hair to become blonde. Yes. So what makes these differences? What are the important reasons for this? That is what we'll be seeing here. So anthropology is a discipline upholds human diversity as it is a reality which needs to be appreciated and accepted. Do you understand? So anthropology as a discipline, what is the function of anthropology as a subject or a discipline is that it upholds the human diversity, it justifies the human diversity, and it says it is a reality and it has to be appreciated and accepted and not discriminated. Fine? Yes. And whatever we are going to see hereafter, finally I will ask you a question and you are going to give me an answer. Finally, let's see what is that. Anthropology inquires into diversities with a curious mind. It underlines the facts that diversity is cultural, while biologically we belong to one species. Yes or no? Everybody belong to single species, Homo sapiens sapiens. Yes. But why do we have so much differences? It is interested in studying this biological and cultural uniqueness and variations of the most intelligent species on the earth, Homo sapiens. We are the most intelligent. Yes. Why? Because we are dominating this world. Yes or no? Tiger can hunt very well. Horses can run very fast. And then elephant is very strong, with its body and trunk, it's very strong. And then you can have camels which have ability to walk on sand, and then they can go walk without water for a very long time. You have fishes in the ocean, blue whales, which is the biggest organism, which is the biggest mammal on earth. So these many, every animal is having uniqueness. But what is about human beings? We have intelligence. Okay, so because of that intelligence, we can think about future, we can think about the past, we can think about the presence. One such thing is anthropology. We study about ourselves. Is there any other animal which is studying about itself? No, but human beings is an animal. We are intelligent, that we study about ourselves, and we have created a discipline called as anthropology by itself. Fine. Yes, anthropology as a distinct discipline, it's a biosocial in nature. Do you understand? See, there are different subjects. You have zoology, botany, you have sociology, political science, economics. Yes, someone asked me about management. See, Mr. Das, I think they will start a management option very soon. Okay, this optional channel is for almost all the optionals, so don't worry. Okay, let's write management, mathematics. Okay, so management, mathematics. So all these subjects, if you see, they are all having one stream. They just travel in one direction. But if you're seeing anthropology, anthropology covers everything. It's like an umbrella. It's like a roof which is covering everything. So it's a biosocial in nature. You study about sociology, society here. It's social. You study about political science, society, economics. You study about zoology, botany. You study about environment, everything in anthropology. But the only link here is the man. The link between the politics and man, the link between the economics and man, the link between the environment and man. So anthropology as a distinct discipline is having a biosocial nature, provides one opportunity to explore human nature and culture from holistic and integrated perspective. We study about human beings in a 360-degree approach. We don't take a single direction. We see in every other direction. We try to come to in an integrated perspective. Okay. So for one thing to happen, obviously we have so many reasons. What are those reasons? That is what we are going to come to a conclusion. Not only the biological part, not only the economical part, not only political part, everything we come to a conclusion. Okay. Yes. Meaning and nature of anthropology. So meaningful understanding of human beings requires analysis of both biological and social peculiarities. So anthropology looks at this unique and holistic perspective. Knowledge of the meaning and definition of anthropology will help you this. What is this? So what is the etymology? Etymology means the name, the meaning of the name. The word anthropology is derived from two Greek words, anthropos meaning humans and logos meaning study. Okay, zoology. Zoo means animals. Logy is study. Here the anthropology means anthropos means humans and logos means study or science. This is the definition, the meaning of anthropology. Okay, this anthropology can be understood as the study of human beings, their past, present, future, their history, their society, culture, biology, their differences and uniqueness. Okay, so anthropology covers almost everything about human beings. That is what's about anthropology. Next, it's different from other subjects in many aspects. Understanding following features of this anthropology will help you in the uniqueness. What? First, what is the biosocial nature of anthropology? Anthropology studies organic or biological factors as well as socio-cultural factors of human beings. I'll give you one important example. I'll ask you a question. Okay, just try to tell me the answer. Is there any linkage between the social status of a family and growth of children in that particular family? I'm asking about social status. Is there any link between the social status of a family and the growth of children in that particular family? Yes. Can someone tell me? See, the growth is the biological part. Okay. Social status is the socio-cultural part. Are they having any linkage? Of course, yes. The people who are, socially in social stratification, the people who occupy the higher position can give a better growth to their children. Yes. So the biological aspect of human being obviously depends upon the socio-cultural factor. The what kind of food we consume, what kind of social stratification we live in. All these contributes to the biological factor also. Sometimes these biological factor also contribute to the socio-cultural factor sometimes. Okay, I'll give you one example. The biological factor, the appearance factor, your skin color obviously gives you a form of stratification in the society. The racism concept. In racism, the people with lighter skin color are treated to be in a higher position compared to the people who have a darker skin color. The skin color is purely based on the environmental factor, it is not based on any other reason. But still, the biological factor is giving us a form of social stratification or social status. Yes, both are interlinked definitely. Okay. Yes, if mother is educated, baby has a good brain development. Okay, see, Guru Charan, you are saying that financial is relevant with growth, not just financial, social status is also relevant with growth because I'm not just talking about the society we know, I'm talking about every society. In terms of many tribal societies, what happens? There's a concept of redistribution. What is redistribution? Is that hunting will take place. So when hunting comes, when they are like, hunting is over, every resource is given to the head. The head distributes the food. Obviously, he will not distribute it equally. He has some kind of bias to the family keeps first. And then he gives it to the people who are socially somewhat up. And then he give the remaining to the people who are socially down. So what happened? The resource when it is distributed towards the social hierarchy, it narrows down when it goes to the lower society. Okay. One more thing I would like to tell you people, when you are studying anthropology, don't keep the general society we live in the ideology alone. Okay, we should think about, all the society, the tribal culture, non-tribal culture, rural culture, urban culture, everything. Clear? Yes. Next. See, yes, both the factors are equally important and relevant since anthropology studies the biological factors like human origin, evolution and variation as well as socio-cultural factors like society, culture, etc. Fine. Sometimes I'll just ask you one question. So black does, if nowadays it has become very fashion that what color you like, people tell black. Okay. But in many countries and many societies, black is considered to be inauspicious. But in some society, black is considered to be a symbol of status. Why? It is also based on environmental factor. Mostly if you see sunshine countries, black is considered to be inauspicious because sunshine countries are the countries where there is more amount of sunlight. When you wear black, it attracts more heat and it spoils the health. So it is mentioned as inauspicious. But in the colder countries, it doesn't matter. So there they see it as a form of class or something. Do you understand how the environmental factor also can contribute to the environmental and biological concept can also contribute to the cultural thoughts? Yes. Next. As it is biological and social science, it is considered as a biosocial science. It is said that anthropology is most humanistic among the sciences and the most scientific among the humanities. See how beautiful it is. See, it is most humanistic among the sciences. Anthropology is a form of science. Of course, yes, because you study about genetics, zoology, everything. In almost all the sciences you study, anthropology is more humanistic in nature, and in terms of all the humanities we study, anthropology is more scientific in nature. Fine. So it's a combination of both biology and society, okay, socio-cultural aspects. Comparative and integrative and holistic nature. So anthropology is more biosocial science. It has many other peculiarities. What? So it considers human life in totality. We study anthropology. In anthropology, we study human life in total. We study from birth to growth to death. We study complete, even before birth, sometimes even after death. What religion thinks about afterlife? That also we study in anthropology. Now do you understand why I tell you we study human life in totality? Yes. Religion also we study in anthropology. The belief system also we study in anthropology. Fine. Next. Anthropology is comparative and integrated discipline. Guys, I'll tell you one thing in terms of anthropology. The class will be, very much interesting. We learn many new things. Finally, we end up thinking that we don't have any notes. It's like it's very interesting to listen. But you know what? Everything is notes in anthropology. Whatever I told you now are notes. I don't know if you have taken it down or not. The examples I told you about the sunshine countries and the black color dress, about the North Indian and South Indian differences in the fashion, and then about the socio-cultural status and the growth. I don't know if you have taken it all down. They are all notes, guys. See, that's what I'm telling you. In terms of anthropology, everything will be interesting that you will miss taking notes. Don't do that mistake. Take all the short notes. Clear? Yes. And all these questions will come. Comparison of anthropology with other subject. Why anthropology? What is the significance of anthropology? You have to write all these answers. It's a biosocial, it is biosocial in nature. It studies human life in totality. All these are important points. I'm not missing any points. Keep it in mind, guys. Clear? Everything is a notes in anthropology. Everything can be asked as a question. Fine. Next. It is also considered as a holistic science as it studies a whole human condition. I told you past, present, future, as well as biology, society, languages, and culture. Everything we study about human beings. In order to understand humans in totality, anthropology is, see, very important ethnographic investigation. Very, very important concept. Ethnography. What is ethnography? You'll better understand it. See, anthropology as a field science. What is the difference between tourist and anthropological researcher? Just just think about it. Okay, you are going for tour to some place. So let's take we are going to tour to northeastern country, northeastern part of our country. So when you go to northeastern part of our country, you visit places, you get some handicrafts, you visit some festivals if you are lucky, and then you interact with people, you have food, you come back, you take pictures, and then you just post it in the social media or you cherish by yourself, and that's over. That's a tourist. Fine. But what is anthropology? What is an anthropological researcher will do? An anthropological researcher will go and stay with the people. He chooses a particular group of people. It can be a tribe, it can be a caste or community, anyone. Okay? Yes. See, from today our syllabus have started, guys. Introduction to anthropology itself is a syllabus. Whatever I'm talking to you is a syllabus. I know it's interesting. You feel like listening to some nice speech, but they're all answers. Do you get it? Everything is an answer in anthropology. Whatever you see in real life is in anthropology. The difference between vegetarians and non-vegetarians is anthropology. Do you understand it? Yes. The dress culture is anthropology. The religious differences is anthropology. The political difference is anthropology. Everything is anthropology. That's a very good thing about this. because you had get so much things to write, so much things to understand. Clear? The classes, the syllabus have started from today. These are all important questions. Fine? Okay. Fine. Now let's difference between tourist and anthropologist. I told you what a tourist does. Generally, we book a, we book a tour. We go to some place, stay there, visit places, take pictures, and we come back. But what does an anthropological researcher do? Especially what is ethnography? What do you call it as ethnography? Ethnography is a study of an ethnic community. Okay, they choose a tribe or something. So what you do, what anthropologists do, they go and stay with them. Okay, sometimes they stay with them, or they go and ask some questions and come. It varies. Generally in ethnography, what they do, they just go stay with them and then learn their language, gain their trust, and then learn their culture, participate in their culture. Very importantly, they participate in their culture. Like when they offer their food, we should consume it. If you are an ethnographer, you should consume food. Only then they will trust you. There are so much things when it comes to anthropologists. They visit a place for research with an intention to collect reliable and valid data from the source. For doing that, there are so many things. Yes, yes, of course, socio-cultural studies. Ethnography is like we going and staying with the tribe sometimes, or we going and staying with someone who is related to the tribe. It varies accordingly, but mostly learning about people, learning about tribal community and non-tribal community, anything it can be. Learning about an ethnic group is called as ethnography. It is very sincere, part of learning about someone. Yes, that's the difference between anthropologist and a tourist. It's really not that easy. Okay, so everybody in us, we have a thought about our culture. Okay, I'll give you a very good example. In our society, we have a very different thought about dressing. Okay, when you go to a tribal community, they will have a very different kind of dressing. So when you are an ethnographer, you want to go and stay with them, you should not think low about them. Okay, you should not be ethnocentric in nature. An ethnographist should not be ethnocentric in nature. I explained about ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism is thinking that my culture is the best. Every other culture is, they have flaws. My culture is the best. No culture is the best. No culture is not best. Every culture is best in their own way. Every culture have their flaws in their own way. We have to study it in a equilibrium. We have to stand in a straight line and study it. Is what is about ethnography. Okay, yes. Hello Kalyana, you okay, my class will be like minimum of 1.5 hour to 2 hours. Okay, daily we don't have class, we have class on alternative days, 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Sometimes if I want to finish that concept as a whole, I might take 2 hours. Sometimes when the concept is less, I will take 1.5 hours. Okay, yes. And as anthropologists deal with human social life and culture, they give prime importance to fieldwork method. Fieldwork is the backbone of anthropological research. Anthropologists use participant observation. Why is what this is what I told you, they go and participate. Why is this participant observation very important? I will give you one example here also. So you are from some place, I'm from different place. So I want to know about a tribe in your place. When I ask you, you will give me your point of view. I won't get the exact data about that particular tribe. Instead, I have to go and participate with them. I have to go and stay with them, learn their language, participate in their rituals, and learn about them. Okay, so that is what is participant observation. So it's not just like you go and search it in the internet. It's not just like you go and ask someone who has seen their tribe. No, you go and participate in their society, participate in culture, and learn about them. That is a specialty about anthropology. Yes, we will have the entire course. Okay, yes. Physical and biological scientists need a laboratory for conducting experience, but in terms of anthropologists, we go to the place. We directly participate. Participative observation is the most important tool in terms of anthropology. Fine. Next. Field is a laboratory which includes places, peoples, and culture are found. Fieldwork is the heart and soul of anthropology as it is a field science. It is condition where the physical presence of anthropologists is considered mandatory. It helps to observe phenomena through one's own senses. What do you think about their culture? How the culture has evolved? What do you see that culture in your perspective? That is what is field science. So what happens? They stay with people, learn their native language. Why native language? I'll tell you one example. So when we talk about mother, you can think, ma'am, ma'am is so, what to say, ma'am is so dramatic. No. When we talk about mother, we might say that mother is having equal status in all, equal status in all culture. No, I'll tell you what. See, mother, when you want to know about the status of mother, it varies from different culture. Okay. So in Indian culture, we give mother a very good status. Okay. In some Australian agricultural tribes, what they do, they bear children and they bring up child in groups. So what happens? It's not a single mother who takes care of her biological child. So what happened? They call it as group herding. Okay, child rearing, group child rearing. Okay, so or a community child rearing. So every children are treated together. Every children are taken care together by group of people. So there you can see what is the importance of mother. In some cultures where a mother takes care of her child only, what is the importance of importance of mother in that child's life? Now do you understand this? This you can understand only if you learn their native language, not by someone else telling you. Okay, so that is what is important concept in terms of this. See, with just one important concept, I am explaining you what is this. So in terms of Indian culture, in our culture, the importance we give to mother is different from other culture. This is not wrong, this is not right, this is not, this is not, no, this is, you can't say which is right or wrong, you cannot judge. For them, agriculture is very important, so they need labor for agriculture. Here we have our basic sources. So we go beyond agriculture. We want the child to be economically independent. So here the child rearing process is different. Here the child rearing process is different. We call it as child rearing. We say it like, uplifting of child, or, bringing up a child. Child rearing, you call it in the anthropology. So here the mother's work is to rear her child in terms of other different aspects. Here they want their child to be a very good agricultural labor. Now do you understand why we have to learn the native language? So in that native language, when they speak about the mother, you get the real feeling what they think about mother in that particular culture. Without native language, you cannot understand it. Fine. Okay, can you not find my profile? Okay, I'll tell you. Just go to the Unacademy platform, UPSC CSE section. In that search button, search for R space Suba Keerthana. If you search for R space Suba Keerthana, you can find my profile. Okay? Yes. Tell me if you can't find still. Okay? Yes. Pragya, I will give you the list of sources. Fine. But as of now, the most important concept is my class and my notes. Clear? I will give you sources. My class and my notes will be even more helpful for you. Okay? Next. The researchers can also utilize other techniques such as interview, case study, genealogy, etc. for collecting the information during fieldwork. Yes. Next, major branches of anthropology. So till now we understood about anthropology as a field science, everything. Yes, now I would like to ask you a question, guys. What do you feel about anthropology now? Yes. How is this going? Yeah, you will get the PDF in terms of the Telegram channel. You'll get the PDF in the Telegram channel. Fine. Okay. Test batch. Finish the syllabus and join the test batch. Okay. Yes. Next. Yes, guys. What do you feel about the class? Cool. So I'm continuing. So now what we are going to do is we are going to see the branches of anthropology. Fine. Till now, whatever I spoke, guys, they are all notes. Understand it very well because everything is notes in terms of anthropology. We are not, just discussing something like it might see like we are discussing something interesting. Everything is notes. Your answer should also be interesting. Don't worry, when we will also talk about answer writing. Okay. We are going to see the major branches of anthropology. Fine. The branch of anthropology that examines human biological features is called as biological anthropology. We study about social and cultural anthropology. We study about linguistic anthropology, all things. Majorly, anthropology is, yes. Now is it clear? Fine. Majorly, anthropology is divided into four branches. The major branches are four branches. In terms of that, we study about biological anthropology first. Biological anthropology is we study the biological part. The biological part like genetics we study about evolution, all these things. When it comes to social cultural anthropology, we study about society. In our concept also, in our classes also, we will be studying all these four branches. Fine. Sociocultural anthropology, we study about the society. Uh, Archaeological anthropology, we study about the past, history, what are the evidences, and then what is the track we have come, what is the evolutionary feature of human being as a species, everything. And linguistic anthropology, we study about the language. See how important language is. You know that, right? I'm not, speaking something satirical. That's true. Language is the identity. Language is the, window to any culture. Fine. So you can understand about a culture based on their language. When a language is independent, when the language is mature in the sense it can, explain anything. Independent, mature, you call the culture also to be mature and independent. Okay. But when the language is taking help from other languages, when the language is not that mature, when the language is not having proper grammar, we can say that the culture is also primitive in nature. Fine, etc. Ma'am, some words like see, I'll tell you something, guys. You are all asking me something. The words you tell will constitute about 10% of anthropology. The ones you're asking, the biological terms, the terms like Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, they contribute about 10%. That also, when you understand them very well, it will be easy. Don't worry about it. Fine? Yes. So this is about anthropology. I mean, major branches of anthropology. So, before going to biological anthropology, can you answer these questions? Why do people differ in skin? Why do offsprings look similar to their parents? They'll tell me, okay, whenever they look at me, they tell me like, you look like your father, you behave like your father. Why? What is the reason for that? Okay, so what is the reason for that? How humans are evolved? They say that we have ancestors. Initially, we were fish. Everything. There are many theories about evolution. But how human beings have evolved? These are the answers you'll be finding it in biological anthropology. Why people differ in skin color, environmental relationship. Why do offsprings look similar to their parents? Genetics. Yes. How are human beings evolved? Evolution. This is what you'll study in anthropology. Clear? Yes. In order to answer these questions, one should study human evolution and variation. So biological anthropology gives us that opportunity. See, this is very important. Biological anthropology is a branch of anthropology that considers human beings as a biological organism. As the name indicates, it studies the biological and physical characteristics of human beings. Fine? Yes. Definitely, guys. See, don't worry. In my class, there won't be any class without me explaining the terminologies. I told you now, ethnography, studying about the ethnic communities, ethnography. All the classes will be like, I won't leave you, with a question mark in your mind. Don't worry. I'm very happy to help you with the meanings. Definitely, you have to learn the anthropological terms in your answers so that your answers will look really anthropological. Okay? Yes. Next. Biological anthropology starts with the study of origin and evolution of humans and then analysis the diversity. It also examines biosocial adaptation of different human population in different geographical and ecological settings. I told you the people who live in cold countries seem to be short and built, short and well built. Why? When people are short, the surface area of the body is less. When surface area is less, heat loss is less. But when you take hot regions, the people tend to be very long, long in the sense tall and thin, because taller the body, more heat given outside. So the body will remain cool. Fine. So this is what you will be seeing, how this ecological and social adaptation results in some biological changes. Fine. Yes. See, ethnography is one of the tool in anthropology. So ethnography is one of the tool in anthropology. So ethnography is a method where you study some ethnic community by participating with them, going and participative observation. You do a participative observation. Anthropology is a whole discipline by itself. Anthropology is a whole discipline by itself. One of the tools used in anthropology is ethnography. Clear? Yes. Any study of human evolution requires an understanding of members of primates. Primatology is the study of living and extinct primates. We will also study about primatology. Include human beings, apes, monkeys, prosimians, all these things. Don't worry, we will study about all them. It will be very interesting. Okay. So we will also study the different stages of human evolution, and human paleontology help us in this regard. Okay. Next. Human paleontology or paleanthropology. What is this? Simple. You study about the past. Few fossil evidences of human skeletons. Fine. So what we do is we find the fossil evidences of human skeleton, and then we do the dating. Fossils found, and then dating, carbon dating done. After dating is done, we see the differences in the biological features, and thus we track evolution. That also will be very interesting topic. I already gave you an example. When we were feeding on nuts and fruits, our jaw had to be very strong. When we started feeding on cooked food, when we invented fire, we started feeding on cooked food. When we fed on cooked food, the usage of jaw became less and the jaw size started shrinking. Even today we can feel that variation, because nowadays we are all removing this wisdom tooth, because the jaw size is decreasing because of consumption of cooked food, soft foods, more of juices, cooked food, smoothies. We go more for smoothies. So what happens, the need for chewing, the need for tearing the food has become very less. So our jaw is changing, our tooth structure is changing. Okay. Yes, that is what we will be seeing, how the fossils will help us. Human genetics. To understand how evolution works, it is important to know the mechanism of heredity. Human genetics is a branch of biological anthropology that deals with inheritance and variation. Fine. Forensic anthropology, very interesting, guys. Morphological and genetic variations among humans help biological anthropologists to identify individuals, criminals, victims of mishaps, natural calamity, etc. When there is a natural calamity, let's take a fire has taken place in that place. How can you find who's the way? I mean, there is a body completely into ash. You have some bones. With that, how can you find who's that victim? Anthropology has solution for that. Based on the size of femur bone, when the femur bone is long and thick, we can consider it to be male. There are some differences. There are some genetics. Based on genetics, you can use genetics and find out all these things. The branch of anthropology specialized in such area, we call it as forensic anthropology, to identify who's a criminal. Okay, to identify an individual, victims of mishappenings and natural calamities. We use anthropology over there. The knowledge of forensic anthropology is applied to solve issues related to criminal and legal matters. Legal matters, mostly these paternity claims. This is my father, this is my son kind of claims come. Okay, in that concept, in terms of legal matters, especially in paternity claims, genetics will help us. That's a part of forensic anthropology. Okay, forensic anthropologists are helping police and other authorities to identify remains of murder victims, missing cases, or people who die in disasters. Okay, anthropologists are used everywhere, guys. In forensics, in medicine, even in terms of fashion, in terms of sports, in terms of designing the shoes, the size of shoes vary. I'll give you an example. If you're going to any shopping, they'll be mentioning UK size, Euro size, Indian size. It varies, right? Because every place the size varies, based on their socio environmental adaptations. The size of the size and taste of human beings on fashion also varies. There also anthropologists are needed. Okay, form from the analysis of DNA, hair with root, blood stains, drops of semen, body fluids you could have watched in movies. Nowadays, the movies are like explaining us very clear, right? The movies are clearly explaining us about what happens, how do forensics works, everything, starting from the fingerprint, your skin cell, bone marrow, and then blood strain, saliva. Yes, yes. Forensic anthropologists are able to identify such person with some specialized technology. They can also identify age, sex, and other morphological features of victims. What is their skull shape? Okay, are they tall? Are they short? What is their shoe size? Everything can be found out. So simply forensic anthropology is helped where we have to find someone, where we have to identify criminals, especially in terms of identification process. We need forensic anthropology in terms of legal matters, in terms of criminal cases, solving criminal cases, need anthropology. How do they work? They take DNA from hair with root, blood stains, drops of semen, body fluids like saliva, skin cells, cell of bone, all these things, fingerprints, skeletal remains, etc. They can even find out age, sex, and morphological features of victims. Fine. Next, sociocultural anthropology, one of the most interesting part of anthropology, because here we can relate it to our day-to-day life. Okay, here we study about human society and culture, and then here we study about social institutions. What are those social institutions? Family, marriage, kinship, religion, economic organization, political organizations, law and relations with such institutions. See, this looks like our syllabus. Do you all remember this? In sociocultural anthropology, we'll study about family, marriage, kinship, religion, economic organization, political organization, etc. There are laws, universal laws, and the relationship between these institutions. Clear? Yes. So, this sociocultural anthropology is the study of relations and patterns of life among different types of people. Here, we'll be needing so much examples and case studies, guys. For example, when you study about political anthropology, we'll study about what are the types of political organization. For everything we need examples. Don't worry, there are plenty of examples you can find and write. Don't worry about it at all. Okay, the study is based on the facts collected through investigation. Okay, what is kinship? Good question. Fine. We know about family. So family means father, mother, a son or a daughter, two children, let's take. So can I call it a family? Yes. Now, fathers, sisters, and brothers. Okay, better I will do one thing. I will add a screen and clearly explain. So we have father and mother. So they have two children, a son and a daughter. So this we call it as a family. But what is kin? This father will have a brother and a sister. This mother will have a brother and a sister. They are married, they have their family, okay? They have family. So this goes on. There is a very big group of people who are linked with some ties. It can be a family tie, blood relation, blood related, or through marriage. So this group, a bigger group, we call it as kinship. Simply, we call it as relations. Yes or no? We call it as relations. This we call it as kinship. Okay, it's a very big group who are connected to each other, who are linked with each other either through blood relationship or through some kind of marriage alliance or something. That is what we call it as kinship. Fine? Yes. Different subfields have emerged in sociocultural anthropology to contribute. What are those? Familial anthropology, in which we study about family, especially in familial anthropology. For family, marriage is the base. I told you father and mother. How father and mother? In every society, family is universal and marriage is also universal. I mean, the concept of marriage is universal, but law of family or law of marriage varies. Okay, marriage culture will be varying from society to society, but marriage will be there in many culture, most of the culture, and family will be there in most of the culture, and marriage is the basis of family. So in family anthropology we'll study about family and marriage. Fine. Yes, you have to read books. I will give you the list, don't worry. Okay, at the end of this session I'm going to give you the list of sources. Next, economic anthropology. The main difference between anthropology and sociology is that sociology studies about society only. Sociology studies about society only, but anthropology studies about society also. I already told you. Anthropology studies about society also. Anthropology study about biology also. Anthropology studies about language also. Anthropology studies about economy also. They study about political organization also. They study about evolution also. They study about everything related to man, 360-degree approach of man, where sociology deals about society in particular. Clear? Okay. Next, economic anthropology, we study about the relationship between the economy and the culture. All aspects of culture are closely related. How economic sector leads to the radical change in the structure and functions of society. When a society is economically well versed, the society will sometimes have a difference in changes. So what do they need? For example, if there is a very less resource in a society, the society will be even more fierce in nature. When the society is satisfied with whatever resource they have, they go to the next step of thinking about other social matters. So that is what this economy is more important in terms of society. Kinship is not a joint family. Joint family, one part of kinship. Just take a segment of kinship, you call it as joint family. But kinship is very big. It's like it's a very big group of people who are connected with each other through either blood relations or marriage. Okay, next. Political anthropology, the branch of socio-cultural anthropology that deals with the types and forms of government, state as well as stateless political organizations, regulations. What are the social controls? What is the political organization? Is that political organization is having a head. How is this head chosen? Not every political organization will have election. In India, we have election. In some places, it is based on religion. In some places, it is based on physical strength. In some places, it is based on resource. We'll be seeing all those. Fine? Yes. Next. Anthropology of religion, beliefs and practices. Tell me one thing, guys. When you see this term religion, you know it is more powerful. Religion runs this world. Yes, it runs the economy in many places. It runs the polity in many places. So you have to understand what is a religion. The belief system and practices are more powerful. Many people have question about God, but still why they believe in God? Why? We will answer for that question. Why religion is needed? What is the functions of religion? Okay, the feeling that you have someone to go and talk to, the feeling that someone is listening to you, the feeling that someone will help you is religion. Fine. So we'll be seeing about that. Do you understand? So that is the anthropology of religion. Religion is one interesting topics, guys. When you study that, your perspective about you might have a belief system. There is no God itself as a belief system. Yes or no? When someone says that there is a God, when someone says there is no God, both are believers. Someone believes that there is a God, someone believes there is no God. So everything is based on belief system and practices, and that is what we'll be seeing in the anthropology of religion. Clear? Yes. Simple. So someone have asked me how religion is related to economy. Okay. Diwali is a Hindu festival. Yes or no? Diwali is a Hindu festival. Just think about how many dresses, how many sweets are sold on Diwali. Now, can you tell me, is religion linked with economy or not? Yes. Yes. Some more thing. In religious practices, we also know that there are certain people who prepare, who manufacture some religious products, like lamps or some kind of dresses, all these things. So religion is linked with everything. Religion is linked with economy. How then, if religion is not linked with economy, how we have religious trusts which have more money in them, which get more funds or donations to them, all these things. Next, ecological anthropology. So here we study the linkage between the environment and the human beings, how the environment shapes their culture, the kind of dress they wear, the kind of food they eat, the kind of religion they belong to. Everything is dependent upon ecological anthropology. We'll see that also. Medical anthropology is concerned with biocultural practices of humans and works in relationship. I'll talk about medical anthropology. Generally in India, the women in southern part of India are more anemic compared to northern part of India. Why? Because in southern part, consumption of pulses is comparatively less compared to the northern part of India. Okay, so this we are talking about food. Food is a part of culture. Now, can you tell me culture has impact on medicine? Does culture has impact on health? Does culture has impact on the diseases we might get in our life? Obviously, yes. Fine. So this is one example. Okay. Yes. Culture depends on material particle. Okay. See, culture is not just upon material particle. Culture also depends upon material particle. Yes. Fine. Next. Development anthropology. We will be studying about the basic concerns of human society in terms of welfare, progress, development, ultimate aim to ensure security, decent, livelihood for human beings. And we question poverty, inequality, human welfare, social justice, human development and environmental sustainability. This looks like GS, right? That's what I told you. When you study anthropology, you'll get more concepts, more answers to write in GS also. Development anthropology is the branch of anthropology which talks about human welfare. Okay, in terms of education, poverty, health, economic sustainability, inequality, social justice, everything. When it comes to social justice, we speak about all kinds of discrimination. Discrimination on class based on richness, discrimination on caste, discrimination on sex, everything we'll be talking about. Clear? Discrimination on race, place of birth, everything. Archaeological anthropology is a branch of anthropology deals with past culture in relation to the environment. This subject has been derived from broad field of archaeology. The word archaeology is derived from two words. Archois means ancient, logos means study. Okay, so generally whenever we speak Am I audible? Am I audible? Yes, cool. Let's continue. Okay, fine. So archaeological anthropology deals with prehistory. See, history means we talk about history. Um, See, what is history? So history means you have some evidences, mostly written evidences. We call written evidences or some kind of evidences. We call it like history. Prehistory is like you don't have written evidences. We are still searching for it. So archaeological anthropology deals with prehistory, and prehistorical cultures did not make use of writing. But how do we find them? They, but that constitutes the 99 percentage of human history. So how do we find them? By remnants of fossils, tools, pottery. When we study about Indus Valley civilization, what do we study? What are the tools they used? They had rice husk, they had this kind of pottery, they had cotton, they wore cotton, and then they used ornaments. Okay, so all these things. So as well as the remains of humans, plants and animals. Okay, so this is archaeological anthropology. The skeletal remains and their materials help archaeological anthropology to reconstruct the human past. Okay, so why history is very important? We have to find the we have to find the line we came so that we can predict the future. So when you predict the linkage between the past and present, it's very much helpful for us to predict the future. So in that part, archaeological anthropology is helpful in this part. By using that anthropology, try to predict the future also. Okay, but the period before invention of writing is considered prehistoric times, and archaeological anthropologists are interested in documents and materials remains of this period because they contribute to the 99 percentage of human history, how they have evolved, what kind of culture they followed, or even how culture origined, what do we call it as civilization, all these concepts. Okay, they do site excavations, and then different methods adopted like relative and absolute age of the remains. Relative age is like remain 1, remain 2. What is the relative age between these two? Or you take remain 1, what is the exact age of this? So all these things we'll be seeing. This learning teaching is not limited to the classroom. It may take place anywhere people live and work. In fact, anthropology is part of life. Okay, that's what I told you. See, you can write whatever you are facing in life. Okay. Linguistic anthropology. Most distinctive feature of humanity is ability to speak. Yes. I'll give you an example. Okay. In in that book of Homo sapiens. So there will be a very beautiful concept over there. What is that concept? See, many animals have communication. We cannot say that animals do not communicate. Animals communicate, yes, but what makes human beings more successful? I'll give you an example. So there is a forest. So in that forest, lion comes. So when lion comes for hunting, there are certain animals like the animals like monkeys, birds, etc., give some signals to say that lion is coming for hunting. Animals get animals go to a secure place. They give some kind of signals. Based on the sound of signals, we can find out that some danger is coming. Okay, they communicate. But what is the success of human beings? A human being has a language, and based on that language, a human being can communicate many things. He will say that lion is coming. The lion is coming from the west. It's near the river. So when you go to the river, it might kill you. See how many informations are given. Here they give a signal, danger, that's all. But based on our language, we are able to communicate more details which help in the development of human beings. Humans are not alone in using symbolic communication. The branch of anthropology that studies the human language is called as linguistic anthropology because language allows people to preserve and transmit their culture. We call it as, from one generation to another generation. Let's take this concept, literature. So when you study about history, you study literature. Why this literature part in terms of art and culture is very important? Because literature gives us evidences about our past. So the culture, if you want to transmit the culture, if you want to preserve the culture, language is very important. So if you want to destroy a culture, the first and foremost step is destruction of the language, destruction of the literary evidences. If you destroy the literary evidences and language, if you destroy the people speaking that language, the culture is dead. Okay, so that is why, the language is given so much status in terms of Indian constitution also. The schedule 8 of Indian constitution has list of recognized languages, scheduled languages. Why they are given importance? Because languages is the window to any culture. It is a tool to preserve culture, it is a tool to transmit culture. So we also will study about languages. Fine. Yes. Through the study of language in its setting, anthropologists can understand how people perceive themselves and the world around them. Okay, yes. Anthropological linguistics may also make a significant contribution to our understanding of human facts. No, I don't use Hindi. I will try to help you in different form of English. I will try to, explain it in a more detailed form in English only, but in terms of Hindi, no, I'm sorry. Okay, yes. Linguistic anthropology studies the origin, nature, and meaning of development of languages in relation to culture, patterns of speech, patterns of acting, behaving, and communicating. See, the one thing is, we say I miss you in English. Can you exactly translate it in your language? In many languages, not possible. The term miss you will in many languages will have a different terminology, but not exactly. Do you understand? So that is why every language have their own unique way of expressing about their thoughts, about their thinking. Okay, so that is what I'm telling you here. This is a very simple thing we use in our day-to-day life. But if you try to translate in our own language, we don't have the exact term. Okay. Yes, the areas of linguistic anthropology includes structural linguistics, social linguistics, and historical linguistics. What is the structure of a language? What is the social influence on that language? What is the history of that language? Everything we'll be seeing. See this, grammatical patterns, social behavior and culture, origin, comparison, and classification. Okay, yes, relevance of anthropology. Fine. So, yes. So, what is the relevance of anthropology? Anthropology embraces all areas of human lives. So, we are keen to examine the life even most isolated, simple tribal communities who are otherwise not considered properly. Okay, in terms of government itself, they employ anthropologists to study the tribe. Just answer this question. In Indian Constitution, why do we need Schedule 5 and 6? We have Schedule 5 and 6 in polity. Yes, why do we need it? Why do Indian government care about scheduled areas and tribes? That's very important because they are one of the most oldest cultures. So when we have to preserve them, we have to protect them. For that, you need the help of anthropologists because anthropologists care about most isolated and simple tribal communities who are not even considered properly by non-tribal people. Okay, because the majority always try to, the majority always try to suppress the minority. They always, try to get the resources to themselves, but that is not social justice. Minority should be considered. For that, anthropologists are very important tool. Okay, so learning anthropology enables the students. See, these are all answers, guys. They are not just something I'm talking about society. Relevance of anthropology itself is a question. Okay, what is the significance of anthropology in the society? Why anthropology is needed? Why students should learn anthropology? Clear? Yes. So learning anthropology enables students to have a holistic approach. It shares different area of natural and social sciences. The geographical field of anthropology is global, but in terms of time, it extends millions of years in the past. We have a 360-degree approach of anything. Till today, we saw Diwali as Diwali, but today we learned that Diwali has linked with, economy. Diwali has linked with, belief system. It is linked with culture, right? Yes. The study of anthropology helps the students to develop intellectually, personally, professionally. So when you, that's what I told you. When you are, finishing this anthropology class, it will be life changing. I told you in my video why anthropology, it will be life changing. Okay, because you know, when you are asked about caste, when you are asked about religion, when you asked about community, till today you might be having different, ideology, but when you finish anthropology class, when you start understanding everything, you will have a different ideology about all these concepts. It's not based on individual, it's based on the perspective of the society. We'll see all those concepts. Fine? Yes. So we will start understanding the cultural, biological, environmental and historical basis of humanity and self-reflections that results from applying the holistic approach. That is what I'm giving you 1 day of time to think. Okay, now you will go and think about all these things. Okay, just you go and simple thing I'll tell you. I'm wearing this t-shirt to every class. You can ask me, ma'am, why are you wearing this t-shirt, ma'am? Why don't you come in different dresses? There are many reasons. Number one, uniformity. Okay, every time if I come in different dresses, you will be start seeing what dress ma'am wearing, what dress is ma'am wearing today. It's psychology. Anthropology is related to psychology also. Do you understand? So, and it will not show the cultural difference. It will not show any discrimination. So that is why anthropology will help you to understand many concepts, understand, yourself, will help you understand yourself. You will see the self-reflection in whatever you are studying. It will start helping you to broaden your worldview. What you think about the world will change. Okay. So what we say as forward thinking mentality will start coming in life. Okay, your way of life will start changing. The way you look at other people will change. The way you start judging people, you won't judge. Okay, so we are always interested in talking about someone's character. When there is a woman who is achieving great things, easily they speak about her character and question her character. Okay, but when you start studying anthropology, you will ignore that. Okay, you will understand that this is of no matter at all. Okay, you will understand that in many culture it keeps changing. Okay, we decide what we have to do, we decide according to our convenience. How women are dominating in many society, how men are dominating in many societies, how it changes according to their culture, everything we'll be seeing and interesting. And now you will stop judging others based on their character, you will stop judging others based on their dressing, you'll stop judging others based on the food they eat, you stop judging others based on their marriage and family or all these things. Fine? Yes. Students develop as global citizens with an awareness of world around them, their similarities, differences and inequalities with other peoples or group. Thus anthropological studies help the students or people in general, can write it as help the people in personal enlightenment and self-awareness, which are fundamental goals of education. What is the fundamental goals of education? Okay, the fundamental goals of education is enlightenment. You understand the world and you understand yourself. Obviously, anthropology will help you attain that. Okay, yes. Career opportunities. Okay, ma'am, everything is fine. You're talking about you will get enlightened, you will stop, everything is fine. What is the opportunity? Number one, if you take anthropology optional, you can score well and you will clear the examination. That part you know. Apart from that, what are the career opportunities? With the foundation of anthropology, the career options are wide. Teaching and research in tribal welfare institutions, organizations, and Anthropological Survey of India. Community development projects of government. Government takes you inside. Okay, so because anthropology is not opted by everyone, and the very good anthropologist is always welcomed by the government and non-governmental organizations and human development agencies in different world, like UNESCO, UNICEF, WHO, World Bank, ILO, everything, World Health Organization. World Health Organization needs medical anthropology. UNICEF, UNESCO needs culture, socio-cultural anthropology. Why this children of this particular country is poor in health? Why they're poor in education? Why this particular place is so much, culturally rich in that particular country? Labors, how labors, what kind of labor you can find in one country? In one country, there will be physically skilled labors. In one country, there will be mentally skilled, intellectually skilled labors. So how can you find them, use them, all these things? Anthropology will help you. Fine. Anthropological Survey of India has now grown as the world's biggest anthropological organization. See, Anthropological Survey of India has become with large number of professional anthropologists and scholars. In terms of world, we are doing really, really well. Okay, many anthropologists find career options among NGOs who are working for the welfare and development of Indian society. NGOs who work for tribe. Okay, so NGOs will be there, tribe will be there. They would like to work with tribe, but they don't know about the tribe. Here they take the help of anthropologist. So this anthropologist will do ethnography and they will give the proper information about the tribe to the NGO. So the NGO can actually help in their development. Okay, yes. So anthropology act as a part of government in the implementation of welfare programs, not just in terms of tribe, also in terms of society. Why education is not offered to that particular is not offered to that particular community of a place? Why is it not? Why is it denied? Why they are physically unstable? All these things. Okay. Yes. They are posted as the Office of Commissioner for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes, National Commission for SC and ST. In that Office of Commissioner, okay, they are in Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes. They are posted. Social Welfare Department of Government of India, state governments, Office of Registrar General of India, Gazetted Division of the State Information Departments, Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts and Ministry. See how much vast opportunities we have in terms of career. Fine. There are anthropologists associated with countries' major museums also. Major museums, you have anthropological part. Okay, if you have any national museum in your place, please go and visit. You will have anthropological section over there where you will get n number of points. The Central Bureau of Investigation also appoints forensical anthropologists to assist in official crime detection. Very fancy and interesting part, right? Very interesting. Anthropologists also are engaged in better financed semi-autonomous interdisciplinary institutions, teaching process, professors and lecturers, okay, guest lecturers, all these things. Ethnography is the, what is ethnography? Ethnography is the study of a community, study of an ethnic group by going and staying with them, by doing participative observation. Fine. Applied anthropology means simply whatever you will have learned till now, you will apply it in the life. Okay. Yes. See, this subject is not popular in entire India, guys. Seriously, I'm telling you, anthropology is not that much known to many people. Out of UPSC aspirants, very few know that there is a discipline called as anthropology. Okay. Yes, that's true. It refers to practical use of anthropology findings. I told you already, in terms of contemporary social problems, like, in terms of fashion, and then in terms of your designs of machinery, in terms of artificial limbs, footwear, furniture, designing clothes. See, you have table sets. Let's take dining table sets. So there are places in world where the people are very tall. There are places in the world where the people are short. Will the dining table height will be same for all these people? No, it varies. So designing of furniture, designing of clothes, designing of footwear, all these things keeps changing, and you use anthropology over there. That is what we call it as applied anthropology. We will apply the knowledge of anthropology in the real time needs. Okay, data on human histology, serology and genetics have medical application. The histology, serology helps in reproduction, reproductive sciences. Okay, yes. They also contribute to disease research, diet and nutrition, health planning, reconstructive surgeries, genetic counseling, okay, and eugenics. Eugenics is something not ethically correct, but still, it is applied many ways. Inputs of biological anthropology also help in forensic sets to identify criminals and crime. Okay, so all these things we have seen today. Action anthropology. What is this action anthropology? It involves themselves. So applied anthropology will help in giving ideas. Action anthropology, they themselves jump in action, they help. Okay, involve themselves ultimately with social problems, pursue the study in the context of action. So they accept a problem as their own and proceed through trial and error method. Okay, so it is mostly clinical or experimental in nature. So an action anthropologists keep themselves as mere observer. They are not mere observer, they jump in action. So when they see a tribal people who are suffering from some kind of disease, they jump in action, they start finding out some medicines for them, or they just contact with R&D, and then they start finding the medicines, all these things. Okay, so that is what is about action anthropology. Okay, yes. In the way of problem solving, action anthropologists may generate new theories and findings acceptable to general anthropology. Okay, yes, fine. So yes, coming to the last part, you asked me about, asked me about the sources. So these are the sources you can use in terms of Saksa report. We will have a different important class on Saksa report alone. Okay, don't worry. Saksa report, you can just take it in internet. See, apart from this, you can use internet sources, current affairs, and then class notes. Most important, class notes. Fine. So internet sources, current affairs, class notes will be helpful. Clear? So you asked me these resources. So these are the sources. Clear? Current affairs, don't think that there is a separate source for current affairs. You are going to take the source from whatever current affair material you use. Yojana, Kurukshetra, and then PIB report, anything related to culture, anything related to society, tribe, everything will help you in terms of anthropology. Okay, don't worry, we will also discuss more. Okay, yes, you can start taking notes from today itself. Okay, see, Soumya, I'll tell you something. There are so much sources. There is no source that mandatory. Like you should definitely study this book. Definitely, it's not like that. It's that you have a proper notes for your syllabus. That's all. Okay. Internet sources, there is no specific sites. Just go and search it in Google. There is no specific site I can tell you. Okay, there are so much sources, guys. Don't worry about sources. I'm telling you that from first. Okay, so what is the important thing is, there are so much sources around you. You are going to extract it. I will also help you in classes. My classes will be like today alone. I told you how many case studies. So much case studies I told you in today's class alone. Use all those case studies. In the classes, whatever we discuss, in the in the notes, whatever I give you, in the presentation, whatever I give you, the books I have told you, the current affairs you study, all these things will help you. Don't worry at all. Okay? Yes. See, you don't get questions from current affairs as such. Okay, it is not like GS. The current affairs, what I tell you to study current affairs is you will get case studies. Do you understand? You won't be getting questions from current affairs, but you will get questions like what is the current trend of marriage in India? In that situation, you have to use the Supreme Court verdict. Nowadays, Supreme Court is taking domestic violence in terms of live-in relationship also. Even though the court is not legally accepting live-in relationships, but domestic violences under live-in relationships are taken into account. So this is what I'm telling you, that the current affairs will help you in terms of writing case studies. Okay. See, daily we don't have class daily, alternate days. Today we have class, tomorrow we won't be having class. Day after tomorrow we will have class on 7 p.m. Every time we will have class, optional class on 7 p.m. Okay, clear? Yes. Okay, you won't be getting questions like directly from current affairs, like this current affairs. No, current affairs, I tell you that you take a source. Okay, you can use it. You take a source from current affairs and you are writing it in terms of case studies. That's all. Okay. Okay. Yes. Ritu, I will try to cover it. Definitely, I will try to cover it. Okay. Yes. See, it's not about Sundays or something, it's alternative days. Okay, whenever we don't have class, I will inform you in the Telegram channel. Okay, mostly we will be having classes on alternative days. In some times we won't be having classes on alternative days, that I will inform. If there is any kind of emergency or some technical issue, I will inform you. Okay, it's a very rare case that we won't have class on alternative days. Clear? Okay. Yes. Fine, guys. Any other doubts? You can ask me doubts in today's session. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Guys, I'll tell you, come to my special classes, and we also have some interesting feature called as live quiz. Okay, so that live quiz will be like very interesting. Okay, you just join my Telegram channel. There we'll discuss more. Okay, fine. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. And like this video, share this video. Do not forget to subscribe to Unacademy. I would suggest to go for Iconic because it is very best for people who are preparing new. Don't waste time. Don't waste time. I'll tell you. Okay, don't experiment. Don't waste time. Try to finish it in very few attempts, 1 or 2 attempts. In that, Iconic will help you. And when you do that, use my code. You get a 10% of discount. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes. I will give you the Telegram notes in the Telegram channel. Okay. Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Meet you again in the next class. Have a good night's sleep and then think about whatever we discussed in the class.